What's up, everybody? I hope y'all enjoyed tonight's episode. I'm uh, gonna go live in just a moment with Mignon and have a little discussion on what all's transpired, not only tonight, but throughout Danny and Preston's relationship, so to speak. What's up?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. We're
Oh
matched.
man, yeah. Look, hey, tonight's episode was it was fireworks from beginning to end, right?
It was really good. I like tonight. I saw on Twitter some people were saying, "Dang, tonight is good." It was
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Look, I tweeted. I was like, man, this is too much for a Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. This kind of drama is usually reserved for the weekend.
I don't know. Some people round the clock, year round, 24/7
Yeah,
drama.
no, that's definitely not me. I can't.
Right.
I can't do
My
that.
wall
But
playing.
yeah, yeah. So I guess, tonight, we're just gonna talk about, where things are with Danny and Preston after, what transpired, and not only tonight, but what's transpired since they've met, and some of the things that people deal with relationship wise that kind of has them build walls for their own protection.
Yeah. Yeah. So what? So do you want to talk about the character or just real life? What
Um,
about
a little bit of both, because I think so much of what we do on the show is a reflection of things that transpire in real life. I mean, whether it's in, people's our personal lives or not, it's stuff that people go through, and I see that all the time in comments and on Twitter and stuff like that, and people are like, yeah, I know so and so who's this same situation and things of that nature. So I think if we could just, touch a bit on the show as well as, real life.
Well, you first. Did you build? You been 17 million years. So
Yeah.
did you have
Um,
walls? You can have walls in relationships. So
Well, I don't think that if walls are built within a relationship that it will be successful. Um, I think for me personally, a relationship or a successful relationship is meant to be wall-less or without barriers.
yeah,
Because when you have those walls up, it's harder to communicate, and I feel like communication in any relationship, whether it be, friendship, working relationships, a marriage, is key. Is the number one key for me.
yeah, I concur. I mean, I have a ton of walls. I like my walls. So I mean, I make them make sense. So I just, drew from my own experience. But I mean, you know how they say fear holds people back and X, Y, and Z. I mean, that's why anyone has walls. It's, fear of
Right.
whatever rejection, hurt. Um, but fear can also be a healthy thing. Like if you don't learn fear, you might walk up to a wild animal. You know what I mean? Like sometimes fear can be healthy.
Yes.
Walls and barriers. And I think I think the healthy term for walls are called boundaries. And
Yeah.
so I think they can be helpful. I mean, they can be hurtful. If you're trying to have a life-giving relationship, they're obviously going to hinder that, right? I mean,
Right. Right.
but I think they can be healthy. I'm not always mad at them. I don't know.
No, I mean, in certain circumstances, absolutely. You in everyday life, we need boundaries. I mean, we need with the world's current climate and what's going on, we need boundaries more than ever now. You know, and like you said, the healthy fear is what keeps some of us from being victims of what's currently going on, you
Yeah.
know, unfortunately around the world, you know. But
Right.
I think that, you know, with Danny and Preston, and I know, you know, I give you a hard time with this a lot because I'm like, you know, hey, everybody's gonna back Preston, but Preston has Preston has to share some blame, you know, because like
Lady
I said,
actor is saying share the blame. Okay, so if
yes,
he's saying it, listen up.
absolutely, because like I said, communication, if communication is key, if it's number one, then Preston's got to communicate with Danny. More so now than ever because this is still new to both of them.
Yeah.
And he was given, you know, numerous opportunities to communicate with Danny. She called him, she texted him, she voicemailed him, and by him not responding, it kind of put her in a precarious predicament, you know, so to speak. Like, is he gone?
Yeah. He left her to her own devices. That's all I was saying. Go ahead.
Right. Like, and so, with it being new to him, he's still unaware of what all has transpired in Danny's life romantically and how she's going to react to certain circumstances or situations. And so I feel like, you know, he is partly to blame for tonight's circumstances and for the predicament he ended up being in the end of the show.
Yeah.
And I totally feel like he had all the power in the world to prevent that situation from happening, and he failed to act on it.
Yeah. It's his fault somebody's licking her booty.
Yeah, yeah.
Doing that
Really,
because of him. It's all. Oh. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, like it takes two to tango. Like, yeah, some people share more blame than others, but I mean, I don't know. For Danny, she has a big personality, and I'm sure. And then Preston is very laid back, kind of like me in real life and you in real life. So the thing is, but they're still both very emotional people, you know, and
right,
so they just operate. They just move in the world differently, and they're just gonna have to learn that about each other and have patience and like learn to translate. And so that's what they're going through. That's their growing pains. Like I was saying in the article for Control that I did, like, you know, I really want them to have some simple moments, but they're just going through that really hard phase that, you know, the growing pains of getting to know another human being.
right. And you're exactly right. It's about growth, you know, and nothing promotes growth like experience. You know, you have to go through these kind of experiences with one another in order to grow both collectively as well as individually. You have to be able to understand what certain action you take is going to cause what reaction the other person is going to have.
Right, right, right. And also just being really like responsible for your emotions too. Like that's something I was talking about with one of our castmates the other day, is like how important it is. Like I was listening, honestly, I was listening to like a motivational speech this morning, and it's a 10% of life is what happens to you. 90% of it is how you respond, and neither of them respond in the best ways. I think with Preston, his way of responding is non-confrontational, and it's
Yes.
easy for blame to be passed to someone like Danny because her response is so big. Like my mom used to say to me all the time in school, because I would get in trouble for my mouth. She was like, "But why you gotta be the loudest one?" And that's Danny. She's the loudest one. She gets in trouble. But like Preston, like you said and you acknowledge, you know, his part in the blame is that he didn't deal with it in the healthiest, most adult way. And so they're both, you know, they'll figure it out. At least
Yeah.
we hope. Haven't
I
gotten sick
hope
yet.
it's going to be interesting to say the least. The you know, discussions that are had after what just transpired. You know, but I have to say, you know, people ask me all the time. You know, like what similarities do or differences do you share with the character you play, and one of the things that, you know, we're completely polar opposites on would be the failure to communicate. Like, I would never, me and my wife, if we have, you know, a discussion or whatever, or a difference of opinion, whereas Preston might run out, whatever, leave, not answer his phone, whatever, I'm gonna continue to communicate until it's resolved from that point. You know, I'm never gonna walk away from a disagreement or a difference of opinion. You know, I'm gonna stay in there and we're gonna hash it out until we have some semblance of an agreement, or just a healthy respect for each other's difference of opinion. And then that's one of the things that I feel that me and Preston are completely different on, outside of the cowboy boots and
No, I was
me
just
wearing Jordans.
style. The hat and the
Yeah,
boots,
yeah,
the big belt buckle.
never.
All this is for show, guys. That Instagram stuff he posts, he has a stylist. Fake. I'm telling you how he show up to set.
Hey, look, style takes no days off. No
Um,
days off.
yeah. I think that's, I mean, but that shows maturity, and it also speaks to the amount of time you've been married. You know,
Yes,
you
yes.
don't stay married not knowing how to communicate. So
Right, right, right. And I tell people, you know, you have to have a certain individual adaptability, because when you've been married as long as I have, um, neither one of us are going to be the same person 18 years later that we were when we first
you,
started.
God, please don't be.
Yes, yes, you have to be able to adapt and accept not only who you're becoming, but who your wife or your husband is becoming, and acknowledge that, okay, this person is growing, whereas this used to be acceptable to them, it's not. They used to enjoy this, now they don't, and that has to be okay.
Like 100%. I can't speak to it. I don't know. I don't know, but that sounds right. I do think people should change, and people should have the right to change and the space to change. Like when you sign up for marriage, you know, you can't expect a person to stay the same, or I mean, or if they do change, you jump ship. Like that's not fair. You made a vow, like not only to them, but I think when you get married, you're also making a vow to God. Like, hey God, I'm gonna partner with you in being your hands and your feet for showing love to this person. So in thick or thin, you know, in sickness and health, in the lean years and the wealthy years. So I mean, it's funny. People get successful and break up. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to break up when things get hard, but like people get successful and break up, you know? And sometimes I heard of this new thing called conscious uncoupling, where people are
Oh
like,
wow.
our life paths are just no longer conducive for one another. Like we're not growing in the same trajectory. And I'm just like, what that
Yeah,
is. I
and
don't
that's that's something, you know, me personally, I will never understand, is how, you know, success can drive a wedge between two people who have been together through the struggle. I know for me, the you know, being successful and being married, it's easy now because you know, we've been through the struggle together, and I just feel like that struggle, it it created character
right.
in a relationship, you know, that you can make it through certain circumstances or obstacles, and come out for the better on the other side, you know.
Where's the freaking loyalty? You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah,
together and then like y'all, like, you can't, or like you know, like, it's just, where's the loyalty, and why, and like, who's dumb now? I'm telling you, anyone who would want to enter the dating market right now, like, you're an idiot. I'm, I will say this. I'm really grateful that I've had enough time to grow up before I consciously partner up, because there's just so many things I would have never known 5 years ago, when I really thought, you know, like, as a teenager, like, yeah, I'm going to be married by this age. And if I got married by this, it'd be, the man I'm married to now would be very unhappy, because I'm not at all the same person
Right.
5 years ago. So yeah, it's about being adaptable, being malleable, being freaking loyal, you know, and grateful. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Well, we were talking about the other thing before
Yeah,
we
yeah, yeah.
about
So
dating.
what I wanted to ask you is, and this is pertaining, more so toward the show and Danny and Preston, is how do you think that Danny is going to handle things with Preston after what has just transpired? How is she feeling, being put in that situation?
Well, I already know, Preston,
I
Trinity.
mean,
What?
but I want you to, because people want to know without knowing exactly what's coming. You can,
How is she?
because, yes, yes.
Like an asshole. Like, she's gonna be about it. Like, she's that's what's gonna happen. She's got some growing to do, guys. Like, she's been backed into a corner. He's already made her act outside of her character by calling and calling. Like, other dudes she'll call to, like, just to cuss him out and be like, never call me again. So that way she could say she had the last word. But like, with him,
Right.
he's gonna work it out. And he's
Exactly.
ignoring her. So like, when he comes back, she's just gonna dig her heels in, because she's just like, you know, like, it's really hard for Danny, like, to put herself out there, and for him to walk away. For her, when people walk away, that just feels like rejection. Like, I mean, it's one thing to, like, just have sex with her and leave, but to, like, make her open up and put her in a position to be afraid of, like, what you're gonna do, or something, like the thing with the pot and the chain. The audience couldn't see the chain as well. For her, that was like, it was terrifying, because it just felt like she was in a position where she had opened herself up, and now someone's about to use her for God only knows what sick fantasy was about to happen. She just didn't know. And so she
Right.
just feels so vulnerable. So vulnerable. And it's scary, because in the, like, her own friends barely fully accept her, you know?
Mhm.
So it's just really scary, the thought of this person coming in and just shaking up her world and leaving whenever he wants. Like, one day
Yeah.
he's there, and then now it's like she can't trust that he's always gonna ride. She just really wants someone who's gonna ride for her and let her be herself and even grow, like, as she's growing. So
Right. Yeah, and for me, I'm hoping that, you know, Preston realizes, the consequences of his own actions. And I'm hoping that it will cause him, what I'm saying, to take a look at himself and what he could have done different in preventing this. And hopefully, when situations arise and differences of opinion or arguments happen, that he'll, kind of take them head on, as opposed to what he's been used to doing, which is kind of completely avoiding them. Yes, yes, completely avoiding them until, things come to a head or they kind of die down, and just handle it in the moment.
yeah, yeah, just be an adult about the whole thing.
Yeah,
They're sure in their own way.
right, right. Yeah, and Preston, we saw this last season. You know, last time they got into it, he was gone for 6 weeks, and everybody's asking me, "Yo, when Preston go?" Look, and so here we are doing the same thing. So there's got to be some kind of change, some kind of growth from both people for this thing to work out.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm People are gonna be mad the rest of the season. I just know that.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, Preston has his share to blame, and his 1% pales in comparison to Danny's 99% of the blame. So y'all really I just want I just want y'all to remember that, when you give Preston his 1%, where the other 99% goes.
He comes in unannounced repeatedly. He leaves without saying anything. He's not a consistent texter or caller. He doesn't reply to text or call.
Okay, but see,
Takes
Preston,
and comes in when he feel like it. 1%. Okay.
but Preston, I mean,
Not too good with
all,
Matt.
all they sell in Alabama is prepaid phones, and so his minutes are out. And
All right, Alabama, y'all need to come for him. All right, Alabama, come get him. Come get him because he just played y'all whole state.
Yeah. So I need a prepaid card and some minutes, and so I couldn't call or text you till after 9 p.m. And by then you were already getting your butt licked. It was like 8:42, and you were already.
Text you just walked in. You said, I'm just roll up on her. You know what? That's fine. Enjoy it. Soak it up, Trinity. Soak it up.
Yeah.
Enjoy it because I'm just saying, ladies, imagine him being a third less attractive. He'd be getting more of this blame. That's all I know. That's all it is. That's what it comes down to. Like, you just skate by on your Southern charm.
I'm just,
okay.
I'm just, pleading Preston's case. That's all. I'm trying to, imagine, what
You are
what,
working it, and I'm not about it. I'm not mad. It's a good thing to be loved, even when you're wrong. That's what Danny wants.
Yeah.
Can Danny get some of that?
And I think Preston's trying to give that to Danny. I think he's just trying to figure out the best way to do so. We can give him that right. We can give him that right.
Want with Danny?
I think he just wants Danny. I don't think he wants anything from her or wants anything else but Danny. I don't think,
Why?
Why not?
Okay, good. Okay. All right. I just want social media. That's the problem with social media. Okay. Yeah, I think that's Danny's gonna be a jerk. She's gonna get in more trouble with Twitter. Preston's gonna be the hero. I'm not mad about it at all. Not even salty. So just saying, soak it up, Trinity. Enjoy.
We'll do definitely. But look, I'm not gonna keep you on here all night. It was great talking to you. I know we don't get to talk. People are always, when do y'all talk? Do y'all talk all the time? No, we don't talk all the time, but it's always great, when we do get together and get to talk and things like that. But I appreciate you joining me tonight and giving everybody a little insight into what's going on with Preston and Danny, and hopefully things turn out the way they want.
We'll see. Thank you guys so much for watching the show. Thank you, Trinity. I was about to call you Preston again. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Tune in next week and see what Danny messes up this time. But see ya.